Alright, we got it all set up. We are now filling the void at the base with some hot glue so that the epoxy doesn't leak out. And then I'm going to cover this with the side of like a 2-liter bottle. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. And then we're going to epoxy this homie in. Kind of raising up like that. You can barely see it. I'll go like this. So this is going to be going up like that for a fly that's going to be in front of its mouth right there. Ought to be pretty groovy. Alright, we're getting there. So all the bottom's filled so nothing will leak out that or that way. But now we gotta cap the ends. So I'm just using a crappy 2-liter bottle that I snagged from Wally World. And I'm just gonna close it off like this and then we're ready to pour. Alright, got one of them on. Doesn't look clean. Well, that doesn't matter, it's gonna look clean after. Just gotta do some finish work, so now we gotta do the other side. So I didn't show the chaos, but we just did the first pour, and I mixed some amethyst and malachite in there. Like a hint of green, so we'll see how it turns out. Alright, camera's being funky, but whatever. Cotton's cool. So we're pouring resin into this bad baby. You can see we've already done a couple layers, making her look like a river. Now we're gonna put the fish in there. So here we go. I can't see.
So satisfying.
So satisfying. It just spreads all the edges. It's so cool. Alright. Spatula me. The good old $2 Savor Special right here. We've got our lovely assistant Stella working with us today.
And every day.
And every other day. Yes. The emotional support of the team.
That's loose.
Loose operators, for sure. Alright, so we're back. It's been about 7 days since I've worked on this thing. And it's because I had to get some legit epoxy that cost a bundle of dollars, but had to get some deep pour because doing 40 layers of tabletop epoxy is not the sauce, but she's looking good. While that was drying, there was some midges that plooped in, so it's perfect because it's a river anyways. Heck yeah, so I'm just gonna mix up the epoxy. It's a 2-to-1 solution, so we'll throw all that jazz together and yeah. Move this up a little better. And in the future, I will never use the hot glue method again. It's just caused me nothing but trouble. Like, it works okay, I guess, if you're doing everything in the same day. Oh, hello, Mr. Spider. But if you're doing a couple days of pours and whatnot, it's just not the best option. Sweet. Now we're gonna mix in a tiny bit of mica powder just to give it a blue tint so you can still see the trout underneath. This stuff supposedly is good up to 2 inches. We're at about an inch. We've used half. This is perfect pour. Alright, so right now I'm just pouring a little bit at a time and checking to see from the last pour if it's at 2. Oh, we're still not at 2 inches. We could just probably do the whole thing. Gotta go get the spatula, get everything out. Let's see where we're at now. 2 inches on the dot. I'll call that a perfect pour. Now we gotta get the air bubbles out. Torture bit. That's so satisfying. Bumping. So now, for the most part, it's pretty bubble free. I'll probably hit it 1 or 2 more times, just super quick. But yeah, groovy town. I'm just gonna plop in a couple of flies that exist in our local river just to give it that extra little bit of river flair. Keep the fuzz out. So I'm gonna toss a couple sows in, a couple midges, maybe a Baetis or 2. Just whatever is looking juicy. The nectar. Little pheasant tail. Another just like Juju Baetis kind of. It's more like a 2-bit hooker. Hopefully they don't sink too much. They might actually. Oof. Let's try this out first. Oh, they just sink to the bottom. Dang. Well, I guess that'll still be a cool touch. Making it unique. And then at the end, in the next pour, we'll just wait for it to firm up a little bit and just put like a Baetis or a PMD just right at this guy's mouth where he's rising up for it. Be pretty lit. Alright, we just did the last pour of this baby. That's a little dark. There we go. We just did the last pour. So now it's pretty even on both sides, pretty much full. Now I'm just kind of like putting all the extras that are spilling out into these crevices and then wherever else needs to be. Kind of cruising. Epoxy really just brings out all the flavors of the wood though. It's pretty rad. Looks so cool. Maybe I'm just a geek, but I think it's aesthetically pleasing. I just learned something new from my homie Sam. He sent me a video talking about binaural beats, if you guys have ever heard of those. It's just like pretty much certain frequencies that help your brain function well, which is interesting. But he sent me a video on it, and basically 40 hertz is like between 35 and 45 hertz is the optimal frequency to drop in your brain when you're working / creating. And I've been doing it for like a day or two. It's been pretty chill. I've been on binaural beats for a while though, but didn't know about the 40 hertz, so we're giving it a try. But if you have trouble sleeping at night, something you can do is just look up like binaural beat tracks on YouTube or even on Spotify, and just play those at a low volume in the background while you're sleeping, and it helps you kind of stay asleep. It's interesting. I brought that up because that's what I'm listening to right now. Just helps you focus. Because we're all just energy beings, in my opinion. Just riding different waves of vibration and frequency. So I guess that helps amplify your vibe, your vibration, and bring it to coherence or resonance, I guess you could say. Just some funk. Never bad to experiment. Now I'm gonna router out a circle where the bass is gonna go, so I can screw it in and then epoxy it in. Put some rocks over it so it kind of looks like a river bottom or something. Whatever's going is going. A little jiggity here and there, but should work. We could clean it up with the sander and even a rounded router bit. Just round that out. Not too bad for freehand. We just got it all routed out. Now let's see if the bass fits. Oh heck yeah. There's a little bit of extra gappage over here, but we can just stain it and cover it in black epoxy and it'll be no big deal. Sick! Oh, this is gonna look so good. Check it. Bass is in now. All screwed in on there solid. So now we'll just epoxy over it and all the grooves and such and make it groovy.
1, 2, 3.